Hi Cancer, this is Amani and welcome to your weekly tarot reading for March 20th to the 26th, 2017. I am using the tarot of the Orishas, okay? The layout I have here is called the Crux Ansata spread. I shuffled the cards 10 times. By reducing 10, we get 1. And 1 is the beginning, the starting point, without which there would be nothing. This is why this number is related to God, the beginning and the first cause. The cross represents life. This life survives on other planes until the time comes to reincarnate, okay? Alright then, Cancer. Without further ado, let's begin with your reading. In the starting point, you have karma, which is like judgment in the Rider-Waite deck, okay? Karma, you could be dealing with a cycle of karma. Maybe something came back around to you that you didn't really notice was coming back around, is what I feel like, okay? This could be a cheating scenario, like finding out someone cheated and is coming back and biting them in the ass. Like, there could be someone that you're dealing with, or it could be coming back around to you, something that you did. It doesn't always have to be a negative thing. This could also be a positive karma, where you could have done something really good for someone, and now it's coming back to you in a very positive way. It's what I feel like, okay? With this, I do feel like someone is transferring schools. So I feel like it was time to. I feel like you were in an environment. This is going to be a school that wasn't really serving your needs, is what I feel like, okay? And there was an element that was I don't know, this feels to me like some kind of behavior was detrimental to you as well. This could be like an old habit, whether smoking, drinking, etc., that I feel like the way it was brought up to you, I feel like someone probably came to you and said, okay, you need to change this habit about yourself. You can't keep doing this to yourself. It's going to ruin your career. It's going to ruin your reputation, etc. Okay, and this is why I think you do have this card here, because it's kind of like a situation opening up your eyes to seeing the better things in terms of dropping old habits, is what it feels like, okay? With this, I do feel like someone was possibly taking the blame for a situation. They don't really have too much to deal with, but I feel like, they were involved. They do feel bad about having had taken part in a situation, but it wasn't entirely their fault. I do feel like there were other people involved in the situation. It could have been a scheme of some kind, okay, that kind of caused some issues for you, or possibly even other people in your life. And it's like really having to heal from this situation, okay? So that's what you're dealing with for your starting point for the week. I feel like that's not going to stay like that. That will change if that is a situation that you're dealing with where you are taking the blame for someone else's mishap, okay? In your second position, what you have is what you're waiting on. You have the couple here, okay? The couple is a relationship. You could be in one that is testing your patience right now, is what I feel like. I feel like this person has tried time and time again to change their ways, and they're not changing, is what it feels like to me, okay? They could also be someone that you're dealing with that's coming back from the past and is giving you a hard time all over again. I feel like they just aren't really learning from their old mistakes, and I feel like you're not really seeing them with the mistakes that they've made with you in the past. They could be coming back and saying, I changed. Okay, they could be coming back and saying, okay, I'm not going to do this behavior anymore. How can I make it up to you? But there's a situation where you are, like, if you look at the woman, if you are a woman, however, the woman in this picture is reserving herself from the man, okay? So you could have a situation where you're dealing with a man that's a bit outward, all right? Like, could be like an Aries. They're like, it doesn't have to be, but I feel this person is very outward with how they express themselves to you. And this feels more to me, you kind of resisting them. They could be coming on to you as well, as what I feel like, okay? Expressing feelings about you that you didn't know they had. This feels to me, and it's kind of putting you in shock in some way, okay? This feels to me that this is like a situation. I know it's very deep to go on to. This feels like someone was, like a man was into men, like that kind of relationship. But if you're a woman, that man who was also a friend who was into men is attracted to you as well. is what I feel like. Okay, so they're expressing how they feel, and I feel like it's a bit of a shock to you for whatever reason. But with this, I also feel like you're waiting on communication. Maybe you two are planning a date, planning to go out together, etc. But I feel like for both of you, it's a learning process. I feel like you didn't really see this coming in terms of this person expressing how they feel about you. If not a relationship situation, I do feel like you do have an Aries in your life that is a bit manipulative in terms of how they express secrets to you as well. I feel like they have a very behind the scenes way of explaining things to you, is what I feel like. Kind of like secretive, under the cover. So you're waiting to hear information, possibly about a job. Okay, some type of business situation that's kind of like under the table is what it feels like to me. Okay, so you're just waiting on communication from that person. In your third position, you have what you're dealing with in your present. You have the Ace of Fire. Like I said, you do heavily have fire energy going on around you right now. This could be a husband, it could be a brother, an uncle, etc. I feel more so it could even be a cousin. Okay. With this, there are some kind of dire circumstances in terms of something that someone got themselves into. I don't know if this has to do with financial, but there's this will, this could be a will that you're dealing with, all right, but it could also be a situation that you're feeling kind of stuck and you don't really know how to move forward. It's almost like not having the strength to move forward, all right, with this. If you do, however, I feel like you are kind of watching what's going on around you before you do something bigger, if this is going to be like a job situation. All right, so just be very careful of who's watching you and what is around you at the time, is what I feel like. Okay, be careful of trespassing. Also, I don't feel more so you. Be careful of people getting in too much into your business. Or I feel like people are around you, but they're being. It could be a fire sign, like I said. They're very much in your business right now, but you don't want them to be. You could be doing something you don't want them to find out. Okay, is what I feel like. This could even be a job that you're doing that you feel is going to bring you the necessary income that you need, but you may be worrying, like I said with your karma card, you may be worrying about getting judged by other people for what you're doing. They may not agree with the kind of job that you have. Okay, whatever it is, I don't know if it's stripping, I don't know what it is exactly. Telemarketing, okay. Whatever it is something that people aren't going to agree with, okay? And it's kind of making you feel a little bit, you kind of want to keep it on the wraps for right now. And that's what you're dealing with in the present, okay? In your fourth position, you have your future card. You have the Three of Fire here. Yes, fire everywhere. Fire signs everywhere. This could be a fire sign boss that's a bit demanding. They want too much of your time. Like I said, if this is a relationship, this is definitely a fire sign that is wanting a lot of your time, okay? And they're a bit needy with it. I feel like it is a 3 energy, so their neediness isn't a heavy neediness. Like it's not like they're in the hospital, they want you by your side. That would be heavier energy. This is more like, can you pick up the kids, or can you go to the store and buy me a couple of groceries? Like that's what it feels like to me. But this also feels like a healthy relationship in terms of that. Okay, so I feel like you are tied to someone who is helping you in that case, who's willing to give you what you have been waiting for. You could be pregnant or not, but I feel like if you did trick somebody into thinking that you were pregnant, this feels like to me that they are trying to help you, possibly with whatever care that you need. If you just had surgery done, someone is by your side helping you get better, is what I feel like. Okay, kind of like waiting it out, kind of like seeing what's going on. Okay, but this is the future. So what it feels like consoling to me that you have fire signs around you that are being very consoling with you at this time, with whatever you're dealing with on the personal front in your life. All right, so good cooperation there in your future. Okay, you do have backup. Okay, And you could actually have people who are very supportive of what you do in your life right now, and there's a need to heal those relationships also. Okay? In your fifth position, you have your instincts. You have the four of air here. Okay? This is air sign energy. You could be dealing with one, I feel like a Gemini. This person could be pursuing you, is what I'm hearing. Okay? It's almost like they tried to, I feel like they tried to make you jealous a little bit, so that's it. And because they were doing that, kind of made you want to retract your energy from them, is what I feel like. Okay, if that's the case with this person. But they are pursuing you because they just recently let go of an old relationship that they had, possibly with a fire sign. Could be a Leo. Okay, but it doesn't have to be, but I feel like they are pursuing you. They are opening up their doors to you, kind of offering you stability in this case. Okay, I feel like they do feel very sorry in terms of maybe they hurt you at one point and it made you feel a little bit down. All right, but I feel like you are using your instincts in terms of this person. I know that you know that they still love you regardless of what you did to them or what they did to you, etc. Okay, but time heals all wounds, so there's always room to forgive the person for whatever they've done. Okay, be open to change is what I also feel like. Okay, you do have sudden changes, but on the positive front, you do have sudden changes coming in that is gonna aid to your financial situation as well. Okay. In your sixth position, you have your accomplishments. You have the nine of air. Like I said, nine of air here. This is about this is air sign energy. This person, I feel more so they're in their head a lot about, like I said, what they've done is what I feel like. Okay, but if this is going to be an accomplishment, I feel like you finally made your mind up in terms of this person. You could have let them go in terms of relationship, or they let you go. Okay, but I feel like there's this feeling of guilt with this card also. Okay, it could be keeping you up at night as well. Okay, but I feel like this will come to a close. All right, with this, like I said, if this person is willing to take you back, they also have a lot of healing to do. Okay, it's almost like if you're gonna try to be with someone, you need to get to know each other really good. Okay, don't just jump into a relationship. Take the time out to think about, okay, is this what I really want? Is this what the other person really wants? Okay, so it's all about contemplation is what I feel like. Don't spend too much time in your head, but think before you leap is what I feel like. Okay, but it is good energy that's coming off of that card for you. Okay, Cancer. In your seventh position, you have your spiritual self. You have the man here. Okay, the man is all about success at work. Okay, a star. You could be a star. Doing what you do. You do what you do very well, is what I feel like. But you can also have people around you that may be a bit jealous of you right now. Okay, scowling. Maybe they feel like you do something better than they do, etc. Okay, but there's heavy jealousy associated with this. Okay, because even as I'm looking at the card, the person is in the middle, alone, surrounded by the night sky, is what I associate this self with. So there could be a situation where maybe how I'm feeling also is that someone has a child, possibly, that is in the spotlight, like an actor child or a child that's in commercials, but they feel like the child may be a little bit isolated right now. Okay, if this is you, I just feel like toddlers and tiaras. All right, so that's where you can also possibly be getting some judgment in that case, in terms of how you raise your children, is what I feel like. Okay, it doesn't have to be toddlers and tiaras, but I just feel like you are dealing with a situation where people are judging you based on, if you do have kids, how you raise them, and I feel like even where you raise them. Okay, maybe there's a need to move somewhere that's a bit warmer. Maybe it's just not helping the kids where you are right now. Maybe the school system isn't that great. All right, but it doesn't feel negative to me. It feels very positive. It is a spiritual self card. So I feel like you are possibly, if you go to church, you are going to church, or you do pray, okay, for your children if you have them, or even for yourself, or even for your life situation right now. Things may have been a bit difficult for you in the past, but you have come into a better light in that case, okay, in terms of your spirituality. You are praying more. You are possibly visiting mosques or temples and just holy places that'll help get you grounded, is what I feel like, okay? In your eighth position, you have your mentality, all about the mind here, okay? You have the seven of air. This is air sign energy again. You could be in your head about one. Okay, this person could also be pressuring you to change something about yourself. It could be your weight. It could be your diet. Maybe there's a need to drink more water. This person has been trying to tell you this time and time again. I feel like you're very worried about something on the physical front, but they've been there. They've been telling you, they've exhausted themselves, telling you over and over again what to do. But I feel like you just have not been believing them. All right, and it's almost like they're tired. Like I said, they are possibly a bit tired with the choices that you've made. All right, they've exhausted themselves trying to help you, or you've exhausted yourself trying to help someone else, and they're just not seeing the light. Is what I feel like. Okay, with this though, I do feel like there is some kind of travel. It could be plane travel. You could be going to visit a father, an aunt, etc., even a little baby sister. Okay, like I said, that's probably why I was picking up kids, because maybe you don't agree with how a little sister is being raised if you're older. Okay, so there's some type of situation. You're worried about this younger sibling being spoiled, having too much. Okay, this is what it feels like to me. But you're traveling to go see them. I feel like you're aiding to the spoiled situation to this child, but then you don't agree with it. I feel like you grew up spoiled, if that's the case, but you're also noticing like a younger child or a younger sister, sibling, family member that is also being spoiled as well. Okay, you could be taking them with you somewhere else, or you could be traveling with someone, all right, that could be younger than you, and the child is possibly keeping you awake at night, etc. Or it's almost like you're keeping yourself awake for whatever reason. Maybe you can't sleep, maybe you're pregnant, maybe you're finding out that you're pregnant out of nowhere and you're not getting any sleep at night. A lot of tossing and turning, headaches, back pain, cramps, bubbly feelings in your stomach, etc. All right, that was your mentality, so it has to do with a lot of your thinking here. All right, I feel like you're also worried about those kind of things happening to you. All right. So just like I said, you can drink more water. That is helpful to keep yourself a little bit level-headed. What's changing in your environment? You have the devil here. The devil has a lot to do with situations in your life that have been a bit toxic. Does it anything that has to think of, devil is pretty much straightforward. All right, I don't even have to explain the card. But with this, I do feel like someone has been drinking a lot, too much. It doesn't have to be you. It could be someone else around you. All right, and they're in need of going to rehab for that reason. And there's this need to, like I said earlier on in the reading, someone is being accused. There is an accusation coming towards you or someone else about drinking habits of some kind. Okay, possibly. I don't feel smoking. I feel more so drinking. Okay, with this, I do feel like sniffing coke as well. Maybe you have been sniffing coke too much. Okay, and now it's starting to, like I said, it could be causing some issues on the health front as well. Okay, and people are coming to you, coming to your side, and helping you get through this, is what I feel like. Okay, they could be asking you to go to rehab, or you're asking someone else to go to rehab for this drinking, coke sniffing situation that's going on here. Okay, but it will get better. I don't feel like it's going to last very long. Some healing may need to take place in this in about 3 months time, is what I feel like for you. Okay, but that is changing. It is a change, so that is a good thing to know in terms of that's energy on its way out for you. Okay, in your resolution, you have the Two of Earth here. Earth is um earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Okay, with this, the Two of Earth has a lot to do with balancing your finances, is what I feel like, okay? But maybe you don't feel like your finances are very balanced. I feel like you're being pressured to take on more work that you feel like you can't handle. I feel like you're doing a job that you're not really liking right now, is what I feel, what it feels like, okay? But I feel like people are coming in and helping you with your finances in a big way. It could even be a surprise that's coming your way, okay? But I'm not going to tell you when. But it could be something that someone is helping you with in a huge way is going to get you off your feet, okay? Because I feel like you know, in terms of your finances, you've been a bit off balanced in that case, okay? And possibly even secluded, because I'm looking at this animal and they're in a cave, and that may have had you that kind of way. You may have felt like you had to stay home a lot, you couldn't do the kind of things that you wanted to do, etc., okay? But that is the resolution. And that goes to show that things will change for you in time, is what I feel like, okay? So don't worry too much about it. And also, if you are working, don't slave too much at work, okay? Don't overload yourself. Make sure you do have time to relax and do the things that you want to do, okay? All right, then, Cancer, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share. You know, subscribe if you feel need to. Okay. Also, if you would like a private reading with me, please email me. I prefer the email rather than the Facebook. It's just a little bit easier. Okay. All right, then. Take care, Cancer. Bye.